Hello Golden State Warriors fans, we are here once again to bring you the latest news related to our team, and I would like to emphasize how committed we are to improving our performance to achieve great results. Before we dive into this intriguing news, I kindly request you to show your support by clicking the like button, and if you are not yet subscribed to our channel, I invite you all to join us on an exciting journey. Remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything.
Be careful, Draymond Green gives firm advice to Jonathan Kuminga on what not to do next. Golden State Warriors veteran Draymond Green has some heartfelt and strategic advice for his teammate Jonathan Kuminga, especially in light of recent comments made by head coach Steve Kerr. Kuminga, who's heading into restricted free agency, found himself at the center of speculation after Kerr expressed uncertainty about whether the young forward wants to remain with the team. Just a day earlier, Kerr also said he couldn't find a way to fit Kuminga into his preferred starting rotation in a way that would satisfy his desire for more playing time. Draymond, a four-time NBA champion and vocal leader in the Warriors' locker room, weighed in on the situation during his podcast. He made it clear he doesn't fully agree with Kerr's comments, but he urged Kuminga to take a smart, measured approach. Steve Kerr is a legend. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, that's just the reality, Green said. And with that in mind, I don't think it's worth getting caught up in Steve said this or Steve said that. Green knows Kuminga probably feels the urge to respond, but his advice is simple: don't. Not now. I get it, he continued. You hear something like that, and you want to speak your truth in the next interview, make your side heard. But honestly, I don't think JK should do another interview until after free agency. Draymond was direct. This is not a battle Kuminga can win, at least not right now. JK's in a tricky spot, and he needs to be careful, Green emphasized. Steve Kerr isn't just any coach. He's one of the greatest we've seen. And the truth is, Kuminga has everything to lose and nothing to gain by trying to push back publicly. Green pointed to Kuminga's rising value, especially after a strong playoff showing, and stressed that now is the time to focus on the bigger picture: his career, his future, and his next contract. Look, free agency is around the corner. You don't need to say a word. Just let things play out. You're a restricted free agent. You have to figure out what's best for you. And that's going to happen regardless of what's being said in the media. In closing, Draymond made one thing crystal clear: I'm not out here trying to debate anyone, and I don't think JK should be either. As the Golden State Warriors navigate a pivotal offseason, Jonathan Kuminga's future with the team remains uncertain. The 22-year-old forward is set to become a restricted free agent, and recent comments from head coach Steve Kerr have added complexity to his situation. Kerr has expressed concerns about Kuminga's fit within the team's established rotation and his development into a complementary player. Despite these challenges, Kuminga's strong playoff performance has renewed interest in his potential role with the Warriors. Golden state of mind. In response to Kerr's remarks, veteran teammate Draymond Green has offered guidance to Kuminga. Green emphasized the importance of maintaining composure and focusing on personal growth rather than reacting impulsively to external criticism. He advised Kuminga to avoid public confrontations and to let the situation unfold naturally, especially considering his impending free agency. The Warriors' front office faces a critical decision regarding Kuminga's future. They must weigh the benefits of retaining a young talent with significant upside against the potential challenges of integrating him into a championship contending roster. The outcome of this decision will likely influence the team's strategy in the upcoming season and beyond. As the off-season progresses, all eyes will be on Kuminga's next steps and how the Warriors choose to proceed with his development and role within the team. Golden State Warriors and Steve Kerr warned, "Don't fall into the same trap that undid the Nuggets," says former NBA star. As the NBA offseason kicks into full swing, the conversation around Jonathan Kuminga's future with the Golden State Warriors is heating up. And now, former NBA All-Star Roy Hibbert is adding fuel to the fire, issuing a warning that could reshape how the Warriors handle one of their most critical decisions. Should the Warriors trade Kuminga for a player who better fits Steve Kerr's system? Or should they invest in the rising star's long-term potential, especially as the team's aging core continues to decline? According to Hibbert, Golden State is in danger of repeating a costly mistake that recently backfired on another Western Conference contender. A disconnect that could derail the future. Hibbert's caution centers on a common but dangerous dynamic. When the front office and coaching staff aren't aligned, franchises stumble. He points to the recent downfall of Michael Malone's tenure with the Denver Nuggets as a warning sign the Warriors can't ignore. Think about what happened in Denver, Hibbert said on the Nightcap podcast. GM Calvin Booth was bringing in young talent, players he wanted to develop. But Coach Malone leaned on veterans, guys like Russell Westbrook, players he trusted in the moment. That friction eventually tore the organization apart. The result? Malone, once praised for guiding the Nuggets to contention, was shown the door, along with key contributors, because of a disconnect in vision. Kerr may be at a similar crossroads. Hibbert sees a parallel unfolding in Golden State. As Steve Kerr continues to rely on established veterans, younger players like Kuminga risk being sidelined in their development, despite showing glimpses of real promise. For me, this all comes down to synergy, Hibbert stressed. And at some point, I'm not sure Kerr is planning to be in Golden State forever. He even floated the possibility that Kerr may be timing his own exit alongside Steph Curry's eventual retirement. Maybe there's a mental timeline where he's thinking, when Steph steps away, I'll walk too. And he's sticking with the guys he knows, the ones he trusts. A risky strategy in a race against time. But that approach, Hibbert warns, could spell serious trouble if the front office expects a different trajectory, one that prioritizes long-term sustainability over short-term comfort. If the front office is bringing in guys who need minutes and growth, and Kerr isn't playing them, Hibbert said bluntly, you've got a problem. And if you're not winning, that tension will only grow. By next summer, people are going to be frustrated. He delivered one of the most striking lines of the interview, simple but powerful. Time is undefeated. With Curry and the core aging quickly, the Warriors don't just need to be competitive now, they need to build for the future. And that means making tough decisions now, not later. Kuminga's playoff potential highlights the dilemma. Golden State's recent playoff exit against the Minnesota Timberwolves, where Kuminga flashed undeniable potential even in Curry's absence, only sharpens the dilemma. Is the team ready to double down on a win-now mindset that may be fading, or brave enough to build toward what's next? Roy Hibbert's message is clear. If the Warriors don't find internal alignment soon, they risk wasting not only a talented young roster but also the twilight years of a dynasty. As the Golden State Warriors enter the offseason, the future of Jonathan Kuminga remains a focal point of discussion. The 22-year-old forward, who is set to become a restricted free agent, has shown flashes of potential but has also faced challenges in securing a consistent role within the team's rotation. Head coach Steve Kerr has expressed concerns about Kuminga's fit alongside the team's veteran core, emphasizing the need for him to evolve into a complementary player rather than a dominant ball handler. In light of these developments, former NBA All-Star Roy Hibbert has issued a cautionary warning to the Warriors. Drawing parallels to the Denver Nuggets' recent experience with head coach Michael Malone, Hibbert cautioned that a disconnect between the coaching philosophy and the front office's vision could lead to organizational turmoil. He highlighted how the Nuggets' decision to part ways with Malone, despite his success, stemmed from such internal conflicts. Hibbert's insights underscore the importance of alignment within the organization. He emphasized that if the Warriors' front office is committed to developing young talent like Kuminga, but the coaching staff continues to prioritize veteran players, it could create friction that undermines the team's cohesion and long-term success. Such discord could not only hinder player development but also affect team morale and performance. The Warriors are at a crossroads. Their aging core, led by stars like Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, faces the challenge of maintaining championship contention. Simultaneously, the team must invest in the growth of younger players to ensure sustained success beyond the current era. The decision regarding Kuminga's future will be a litmus test for the organization's commitment to this dual objective. As the off-season progresses, the Warriors must navigate these complexities carefully. The path they choose will not only shape Kuminga's career, but also define the team's trajectory in the coming years. Ensuring alignment between the coaching philosophy and the front office's vision will be crucial in maintaining organizational harmony and achieving sustained success. I've seen everything I need to see, former NBA star makes bold claim about Jonathan Kuminga's future. The future of Jonathan Kuminga with the Golden State Warriors is quickly becoming one of the most talked-about storylines in the NBA. Will the explosive forward become a valuable trade chip in Golden State's pursuit of another superstar? Or will he finally be handed the keys to grow into the next face of the franchise? The basketball world remains divided. And recently, former NBA forward Chandler Parsons weighed in, offering high praise, but also a tough truth. Parsons sees untapped potential, but not in Golden State. Appearing on Run It Back, Parsons didn't hold back his thoughts on Kuminga's trajectory. He believes the 21-year-old has serious star potential, but that it may never be fully realized if he stays in the Warriors system. "I'm a big fan of Jonathan Kuminga," Parsons said. "I get it, Jimmy Butler came in, maybe that cut into his minutes and his role. But I watched what he did when Steph Curry was out, and he stepped up like a pro." When Curry was sidelined, Kuminga rose to the occasion. He led the team in scoring during critical stretches and showcased the kind of assertiveness and polish that had previously been hidden behind Golden State's veteran-heavy lineup. "He showed poise, maturity, and impact," Parsons continued. "That series told me everything I need to know about him." Free agency could be Kuminga's turning point. This summer, Kuminga enters restricted free agency, a moment Parsons believes could open the door to a major shift in the young star's career. He's a restricted free agent, and honestly, I hope a team comes along and gives him a strong offer. "I don't think the Warriors match it," Parsons said. "Or maybe it turns into a sign-and-trade, which honestly might make the most sense for both sides." It's not about lack of belief in Kuminga, it's about fit. System clash could seal Kuminga's fate. While Kuminga's talent is undeniable, Parsons points to a deeper issue: stylistic incompatibility. He's so young, so raw, and he's not exactly a system guy yet. "The Warriors run a very structured offense based on ball movement and spacing," Parsons explained. "Kuminga thrives in open space, in isolation, in transition. That's where he's dangerous." And that's the core of the dilemma. Golden State's offense has always revolved around Steph Curry's gravitational pull, Draymond Green's facilitation, and now, Jimmy Butler's veteran presence. In such a tightly orchestrated system, there's limited room for ball-dominant forwards like Kuminga to create, grow, and lead. A star waiting to emerge. Many analysts agree that Kuminga may need a new environment, one where he's empowered to make mistakes, develop his decision-making, and take on a lead role. "He's not a finished product yet, but his upside is incredible," Parsons said. "With the right team, with a little more freedom, he could be a problem for the league." As the Warriors weigh their options this offseason, retooling for another title run or pivoting to the next generation, Kuminga stands at a crossroads. Will he be traded in search of short-term firepower? Or will a franchise take a leap of faith and build around his raw potential? No matter what happens, one thing is clear: Jonathan Kuminga has shown flashes of something special. Now it's just a matter of finding the right place to let it shine. A tipping point for Golden State's identity. Jonathan Kuminga's situation is more than just a contract dilemma. It reflects a larger identity crisis unfolding within the Warriors organization. For over a decade, Golden State has been synonymous with beautiful, unselfish basketball, off-ball movement, spacing, and veteran synergy built around the brilliance of Stephen Curry. But as that core ages and the league grows faster, younger, and more physical, there's a growing sense that the Warriors must choose a direction: double down on their veteran core, or invest in rising talent like Kuminga. So far, the signals are mixed. On one hand, head coach Steve Kerr has publicly praised Kuminga's development, often citing his defensive upside and improved discipline. "He's grown a lot," Kerr said in a March 2025 presser. "His athleticism is elite. We've asked a lot of him, and he's delivered when called upon." On the other hand, there's no denying that Kuminga's role fluctuated throughout the season, especially after the arrival of Jimmy Butler, who brought his own demanding style and veteran expectations. That limited Kuminga's touches, his confidence, and ultimately, his ability to build momentum. Teammates and analysts rally behind Kuminga. Privately, several teammates have expressed frustration about Kuminga's inconsistent role. "He's got star-level talent," one Warriors player reportedly told The Athletic. "We all see it. Sometimes it feels like he's playing on a leash." Media voices are beginning to echo that sentiment. "He's a 20-point-per-game scorer on the right team," said J.J. Redick on a recent episode of The Old Man and the Three. "And if Golden State doesn't want to hand him that opportunity, someone else will." Even NBA insiders believe that Kuminga may be one of the most intriguing young names on the trade market this offseason. According to NBA on TNT's Chris Haynes, multiple teams are already circling Kuminga. If Golden State makes him available, there will be serious interest. The free agency factor, a franchise-altering summer. As a restricted free agent, Kuminga's market is largely dependent on how aggressive other teams are willing to be. A significant offer sheet could force the Warriors into a tough decision: either match and recommit to his development, or orchestrate a sign-and-trade to maximize value while preserving cap flexibility. Teams like the Orlando Magic, Detroit Pistons, and Utah Jazz have already been mentioned as potential suitors, franchises with minutes, money, and a desire to build around explosive young talent. And from Kuminga's point of view, the chance to finally play a leading role might be too appealing to pass up. A star in waiting or a trade asset. This off-season, Jonathan Kuminga will no longer be just a promising young piece. He'll be a decision point. Golden State's front office faces immense pressure. Prioritize short-term contention by trading Kuminga for a win-now veteran? Or take the risk of grooming him into their next foundational piece? If they misjudge his ceiling, they could watch another franchise develop him into a star, just as the Warriors did with Jordan Poole, who blossomed, then regressed, and was eventually traded. But if they keep Kuminga and fail to optimize his role, they risk wasting precious years of both his development and Curry's twilight. The verdict is still out. For now, Jonathan Kuminga remains a Warrior. But as Chandler Parsons and other voices across the league have noted, his talent is too big to be boxed in for long. Whether Golden State chooses to unlock his full potential, or watch him do it elsewhere, will shape not only Kuminga's legacy, but possibly the future of one of the NBA's greatest dynasties. And in a league where timing is everything, this summer could be the moment that changes everything, for Kuminga, for Golden State, and for whatever team is bold enough to believe in what's next.